cap stocks that tend to follow SPY. And even if you're trading the E-mini futures, you're basically trading the SPY if you're trading ES, or QQQ if you're trading NQ. And for me, for a lot of charts I recently traded, Nvidia, Apple, or even Amazon, they're basically following the entire price action of the market. So if you take a look at this day here with the overnight gap down over the weekend, actually, the Black Monday that everyone was talking about last week, that's where you had SPY, everything gap down to a huge daily extreme support level over here. You can see this 512s area, and more extreme example will be down here at 509s. And you can see a lot of the charts will be mirrored on individual stocks or instruments that you're trading that's related to the overall market, SPY or QQQ. So you have these two extreme levels on the gap down over here, and then on the top here you can see the potential resistance levels here after from the support and resistance from back in April of this year. And if you look at the intraday chart, that's where the pre-market level, the market sold off to around the 509s area. This is around like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And by around almost the open, 9:30, the stock had, or the SPY had bounced to the 512s area. So for me, in particular, when I'm trading the individual charts, or I'm trading charts that are related to SPY, I want to see that the market has already reclaimed these kind of key levels and started bouncing upwards over VWAP for me to trade those individual instruments. And this overnight gap down to daily key support level that we talked about here and here, this is the foundation of my daily support dip buy strategy, where you're not buying random support, you're not buying at random times, you're buying it on an overnight gap down on the market, the entire market, to key support area. If you take a look at some of my individual trades on screen on the same day over here, you can see the chart patterns are exactly the same. It's mirrored on the individual stocks as well as the overall market, SPY and QQQs. This simple technical analysis process is very basic, but trust me, planning these key levels is a pre-market routine that you must do. Now that you understand how to plan for key levels, it's time for the juicy setup criteria for this daily support dip buy strategy. Before taking any entries on the long side, I would like to see some of the following criteria for this particular strategy. Number 1, I want to see a pre-market or early morning gap down to the key level zones we talked about earlier. Number 2, the catalyst on the gap down is on the entire market panic or emotional moves, not because of any stock-specific negative news. Number 3, the instruments you're trading needs to follow the broader overall market movement. This is more so for the stock traders. If you're a futures trader trading ES or NQ, they're definitely fine. They will follow the market. And last but not least, number 4, the instrument has to have multiple days of sell-off. So let's take a look at this example here on Amazon. This is actually a trade I took last week when the overall market gapped down on a Monday. So the day in particular we're talking about for Amazon is this day over here, when overall market gapped down, Apple, Tech, Nvidia, everything was selling off red, pre-market. So you can see this thing gapped down to some key support, very nice extreme supports here. You can see there's some support here around 115s, even some more at extreme levels down here at 150s, and some smaller ones around like 151, 152s. So upside, pre-market, you have some, potential upside to 160s over here. So you can see this thing has some really, really nice range. And also because it also gapped down already once last Friday from the earnings miss. So if you take a look, that definitely fits the criteria number 1 for overnight gap down to key support levels. Now, number 2, the catalyst was the entire market panic that we talked about. It wasn't anything specific to Amazon. Remember, the earnings miss was the week before. And number 3, the instrument needs to follow entire market. Amazon definitely is a big part of